Well, long time no see, and I hope you have been well. I know I have disappeared for a few weeks or, well, months by now, and at this point I just wanted to clear things up, I guess. So this video is way long overdue, but I guess it's better late than never. And the truth is, I have been enjoying Ever Crisis in the past, and I have been very passionate about this game and its community. That was also the reason why I started this channel. I'm not what you call a content creator, or at least I never consider myself one. I'm just a random person, that's all. But I was enjoying the game so much that I wanted to support both the game, and I was also trying to be part of the community that we all make. And with my videos and guides, I was only hoping that they might help someone else. However, over time, this game has vastly changed, and at some point it has become something I could no longer accept or tolerate anymore. I no longer want to support it. And yes, there are many issues. There have been for a very long time, but the main points that was pushing me away from this game is how overly predatory this game has become. To be honest, during the second year anniversary, it started to feel like my time with this game was now limited, but initially I gave myself time until 2.5 year anniversary in March, which just happened, and until then I wanted to keep making videos and guides to help you out, but that changed, I guess. And in December I was visiting my family for Christmas, and honestly it was a very nice break for me. However, what I didn't realize is that this break broke my routine, because covering Ever Crisis was a routine for me for a very long time, and I was just used to it. But those 2 weeks away from it completely broke that routine, and I realized that I just didn't want to support this game anymore. I couldn't keep making videos when my heart wasn't in it anymore. And I was just thinking about it because I didn't want to disappoint anyone by quitting. Would feel like I might, but at the same time I just can't do it when my heart isn't in it anymore. And then I also have been moving as well, and it turned out it's a lot more time consuming than I thought it would be. So on top of my personal feelings towards the game, I just didn't have the time. I've been busy, and then late in the evening I've been tired and just wanted to relax and play something I enjoy rather than get frustrated with this game. And I'm conflicted because I really enjoy the core gameplay. I think this AB system is done exceptionally well. It's very reactive and engaging, but everything else in this game has soured it and just pushed me away. Most of my friends quit and just uninstalled the game, but I still have it and occasionally log in. But I'm also reaching the point where I think, why do I even keep this game installed where there's nothing for me in it? I just stopped caring, and well, I'm still in the process of completely detaching myself from it, but I feel like I'm really getting there. So yes, every game is a business, and of course they want to make money, and I fully understand that, but also that's why I was buying season passes and a pack per month on average, because I was playing and enjoyed this game. So I wanted to support it a little bit as well. And no, despite what some people might think, I have never been a whale, not even close, but I have been very lucky to have been in our guild alliance, where I met a lot of very nice people and good and dedicated players, but majority of them have been bigger spenders, whales and even krakens, so much at the beginning. For a while I felt like an imposter. But also over time, in our guild alliance, most of them quit by now. Mainly for the same reasons as mine. I think most of the people who once played this game and quit can relate to it. And I don't know, I just wish we could go back in time, because I think this game was really good back then in year one. Yes, the game was still young, but that year was very balanced so that nothing felt suffocating or too pressuring. Whales would whale and dominate, but for smaller spenders and free-to-play players, I think it was very balanced. We get crystals we could either spend on pulling or hoard them to spend on those very few limited events that would happen every 3 months. But then in year 2, the game started to become a lot more predatory very quickly by increasing not only the amount of banners, but majority of them were just limited banners. We went from 38 banners in year 1 with 11 limited banners, because most of them were just double character banners, but we went from that to 48 banners in year 2 with 27 limited banners. So they doubled those limited banners. Well, since launch they never ever increased amount of crystals we would get per month. So the crystal economy was already suffering a lot, and so were the players with it. And with how much they were increasing the amount of banners, and especially made majority of the banners limited, I think they should have increased the crystal income because crystal economy is important. And by never adjusting it, it feels like they were trying to squeeze out as much money as they could from the remaining players. It's overly predatory to me, and it also feels disrespectful and insulting, and it's just unacceptable for me. And well, year 3, or rather, 6 months of it, it's even worse, because it's been pretty much just crossovers with limited banners every month, so that it's so rare when we ever see a featured banner. Also, the power creep has been insane. It was already too much a year ago, but since that 2nd anniversary, they are power creeping their own power creep with every banner, so that banners we got just a few months ago already outdated and power crept. I think it's just the most lazy way they have been doing it. But yeah, game was fun until it wasn't. And I really miss that first year where we had so much freedom in choosing our team that we wanted to play with, before the game started to suffocate us and restrict everything. And around that first half-year anniversary, I think the game was great, really good. Hell House Crash was good, and the first more accessible Crash where whales were just laughing how easy it was. Meanwhile, I was sweating with OB3 edge swings trying to get through the opening of the battle before I finally managed to win, but it was still very sweaty and close. Then Sephiroth Crash 2 was very accessible. It was really hard but accessible, and you didn't need a whale team either. A year later, I still had a lot of fun during Sephiroth Crash 3, but it was already a lot more restrictive, and we needed Angeal as a tank with Provoke and all the other things. But ever since, the game kept just restricting everything, so now, or at least for many months now, the teams look pretty much the same every time, because you are forced to use very specific characters with very specific gear, and if you don't have it, then you can prepare to cry. And I have talked with some friends who play other gachas, and they have shared their experience that they have a much better time and easier time to get stuff they want in those games without struggling as much as in a Crisis, or that they don't feel the game pressuring them to spend, and it's more like if they spend, it's because they want to, not that they have to, or that they can still have fun playing 4-year-old characters. And here it's the opposite. No one uses alt or launch weapons because we all know how outdated they are, and they are basically useless. Our Crisis never had a chance to become one of those massive gachas, so I think they should do everything to keep the players happy, the audience, and not become more and more predatory, even more predatory than those huge, well-established games, because it's very easy to lose players, but almost impossible to get them back. So no matter how small your audience is, try to make them happy, because you will lose them, which they have been doing all this time. But yeah, we also have been getting less and less content. Remember that promise with 1 story chapter per month? Yeah, that's been done for a long while now. And now, if we ever get anything story related, it's just an event, and very poorly made one. with just clips from the game and movie. It feels the lowest of low effort. And it just feels like everything is now about crossovers because they come with limit banners and rankings. We didn't even get a boss rush event that would end the year like we did for the past 2 years. And just overall, it feels like Ever Crisis has been reduced rankings. Just guild battle and solo rankings, 2 events that will have the best chance to make people spend more money. And it also feels like more and more bosses that we have been getting for months, they are just lazy reskins and recolors of old bosses. The content feels more and more stale with barely any effort behind it, and the banners are just the main only focus because they bring money. And they even ruined guild battles too, which I think was the best content that most players were looking forward to every month. After guilds were released, I think those year 1 guild battles were great. Some were annoying, but each guild battle was unique and different. Until year 2, where they added damage sigils, and since then, that's where guild battles were reduced to 2 types, tank and support guild battle. Tank guild battle always comes with a boss and 2 adds, so you need provoke with AoE damage, so you need to pull on that specific banner. And support guild battle always comes with damage sigils, and the sigil phase being 95% of the battle, and then just quick damage phase that ends the battle. So none of that is fun, and also they have been incredibly sweaty, and even sweatier than Dark Souls, where you need perfect internet, perfect device, and it still can screw you up. So those guild battles at peak content every month went from possibly the most fun event for the whole community to the most frustrating event that barely anyone enjoys. It's really sad to me because I really thought that by the time FF7 Remake Part 3 releases, I'll still be playing this game and this game would be thriving. But now I wonder if they will keep this game on life support that long, or they just shut it down sooner, because Ever Crisis doesn't have a big player base and the numbers have only been dropping, not just now, but for a long while. Even before the 2nd anniversary, there were only around 18,000 people playing on the global server, and Japan had 38,000 players. Anniversary always gained some new players, but only for a month or 2. And then we went back very quickly, went back to those same pre-anniversary numbers. And right now they are even lower, with around 15,000 players on global server and only 30,000 players on Japanese server. Yes, Japan server is twice as big, but also they are losing players twice as fast. So it's not doing any better, especially considering Japan's gacha culture, where they love those games and they are so much bigger. I don't know, a long time ago those player numbers used to be so much higher, and then they just skyrocketed down. But yeah, it's also a pattern. When the game started to become more predatory and kept going more predatory, it also started to lose players and kept losing them. So it's been stuck in that same cycle where they just increase whenever they have to keep milking the remaining players. But also this 2.5 year anniversary hasn't done any better in bringing back any players. The opposite actually, even more players quit. So yeah, it's been on life support for a while, and especially now with the City at the Golem, it's just a matter of time, or how long they will keep it before they pull the plug. I mean, you can't see the revenue dropping every month, and you could see the revenue from the anniversary that used to be triple as high, and now it's been what used to be a normal month. It's just infuriating to me, because I think they had so much time, so many chances where they could have made a comeback, improved this game so that it could thrive even today, but they just wasted it all. And back then, I was looking forward to Ever Crisis, but I have never been a fan of turn-based combat, so I only wanted to try it to see if I even like it. But then after launch I was instantly sucked into it, and I barely played any other games because Ever Crisis was so engaging to me. I met some good people, made some really great friends, and I also think that the community and the people made it a much better experience. And for this I'm really grateful. But then last year, after the issues with the game started to become more prominent, I found myself looking into different things and games. So last year I started playing other games again. And I also discovered Death Stranding, and it very quickly became one of my favorite games and also best games I have ever played. And it changed some aspects in my life and how I view things, but also gave me comfort that I didn't even know I needed. It's not a game for everyone, but I'm just very happy it's a game for me, and I'll always keep coming back to it. It also reminded me how amazing games can be when they are made with care and passion, that want you to experience something great and not just with corporate greed to squeeze out as much money from you as they can before you quit and move to somewhere else. That's also not a problem just with Ever Crisis, but with majority of the games right now. And so to me it doesn't matter whether a game is made for me or not. I always appreciate games made with heart and passion, like Baldur's Gate 3, Expedition 33, Arc Raiders, and of course Death Stranding. And there's only one thing I know: I am never going to play another gacha mobile game because it's just not for me. But what's even worse, because of Ever Crisis and how it was mismanaged and ruined with corporate greed, it also very much soured my view on Square Enix and Remake Part 3, because Rebirth was very far from a perfect game or very good game, but I was still on board. But now, after Ever Crisis, I have barely any interest left, and unless there is a very cool statue I would want from the collector's edition, I might just skip the game and watch it on YouTube instead. So yeah, I guess it's time for me to play some actual good games again. And I also have some 3D printed figures that have been laying around for 2 or 3 years while I was playing Ever Crisis, and they were just waiting for me to paint them, so I'm also looking forward to that. Or maybe I'll just find some new things I enjoy doing. Oh, and just to quickly clarify, because I heard some rumors about me supposedly getting kicked from the F2P BTW guild, or the server, or both, I'm not sure. But no, I haven't been kicked from anywhere. Since the guilds were released, I was in a guild called Raccoons, and in reality I left it in November. Well, actually we disbanded it in October, but well, there's more to that. But after that disappointing and scummy second year anniversary, the mass player exodus began and many players quit. That means that in October, quite a lot of my friends quit or retired from the game, and in Raccoons we ended up with half of the guild being gone, missing. And if you have been recruiting, I think you have an idea how hard and stale recruiting has been for a while, even before the anniversary. So after some talks, it was decided that we'd just disband the guild and move the remaining players to fill the spots in other guilds in the Alliance. And because most of my close friends were quitting, and I also had mixed and negative feelings and thoughts about the game, I was also ready to retire and just play more casual, because it was beyond ridiculous what they were doing with the game. And I also saw the data mine, which was showing what was yet to come in the upcoming months. So I just came to a conclusion that this game turned into something that I no longer agreed with. But then my friend Atlas said that we should save on for this one last competitive guild battle, which we did, and then left immediately after it ended. And that was still in November. And ever since, I was already retired from competitive guild battles, and the few of us who are still playing, very casually playing, we are in a guild called Trashcan, that's all. But I'm just saying that because there was some unnecessary drama in the guild server back in January, which I haven't been even involved in because I was already out and distancing myself from the game and everything. But it caused my close friends to leave the server. And I also left the server on my own a few days later. And the only reason for that is because I was busy doing other things in real life. That's all to that. There's nothing more. So whatever is happening or has been happening, I don't even know. So yeah, I guess that would be all. So thank you everyone, especially my friends, for bullying me into making this video. You know who you are and you know what you did. Okay, thank you. And as I said, I'm not a content creator, and that means I won't make any more videos, so I guess it's a farewell. So thank you very much everyone for those 2 years together. I wish you all the best and good luck, and keep on keeping on.